And let me pull this up. Okay, let me start this bad boy off. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Film Optics review brought to you by the Drive-In Podcast Network. I'm your host, Christian, and today we're going to be talking about the latest movie that is streaming on Netflix, The Old Guard. And as always, I'm joined here by my good friend and my co-host, Devin. How are you doing today, buddy?
It's a swell Sunday. Just getting stuff done.
Getting stuff done, yeah. This weekend went by so fast. It was just... I don't even want to think about going to work tomorrow. Anyway, and joining us for the first time ever on the podcast for this review, we have James from the Cinema District podcast. How are you doing today, man?
Hey, I'm doing all right, man. Really just happy to be here. Really happy to be here with you guys.
Oh, thanks. Well, you know that we like having new people on and just kind of mixing it up, doing some cross promotion and whatnot. And normally it's literally just me and Devin for the longest time, and we get a little bit lonely, but that's okay.
Lonely together.
See, I'm here to help out, right?
Yeah. And before we begin today's review, you can listen to this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, Red Circle, TuneIn, Pandora, and iHeart Radio. So you can find us pretty much anywhere and everywhere besides SiriusXM, which was, I think...
That's so sad.
Yeah. Well, SiriusXM bought Stitcher. So it's some weird stuff.
Rest in peace.
I don't know what's going on. So it's like, are we going to be on SiriusXM or what's going on here, guys? But
I'll sign the petition. I got you, man.
Yeah, I'll call up some people. I'll see what I can do. But so let me read the plot here for The Old Guard, and then we'll kind of just get into our initial thoughts. I just have a few talking points written down, but of course, you know, if there's anything anyone wants to bring up, we can just go ahead and talk about it. So the plot reads: a group of mercenaries, all centuries old immortals with the ability to heal themselves, discover someone is onto their secret, and they must fight to protect their freedom. So yeah, it's on Netflix, only on Netflix as of right now. Initial release date was on July 10th, so about last week. Director was Gina, Prince-Bythewood? Bythewood?
Close enough.
Sure, we'll go with Bythewood. Screenplay, Greg Rucka.
What a name.
Yeah.
I forgot to put on the IMDb, but that's all right. But yes, this does star Charlize Theron, so that's one actress. and I always mess up this guy's name, but he was in Doctor Strange.
I knew you were gonna say him. Yeah.
Chiwetel Ejiofor.
It's Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Sure.
I said it because, hey, I'm not bragging, because I watched the movie, went, he's the best actor in this, and then looked up how to say his name so I wouldn't make a fool of myself on here, because
that's how you do it.
I don't know how to,
I butcher everyone's name like 100% all the time, unless it's like someone I really, really know. So it's like whatever.
I'm getting into movies, so I'm like finding out like trial by fire. So this whole podcast thing, I really have to prep myself, because like every name is a new name and they are all very different.
Oh, dude, there's so many movies like that I haven't seen that Devin's seen, and vice versa, and like I indirectly like spoiled Little Women for him, and there's been like so many renditions of that movie, and I was like,
no, I won't be watching it ever.
He'll watch it one day. No, he probably won't. But so yeah, let's dive right in. I wanted to go around the podcast here, get everyone's initial thoughts. I'll go last, but we'll start with our guest James here. What were like your initial thoughts of the film? You know, after watching it, were you kind of craving for a sequel, or you just kind of like, whatever?
Unfortunately, I was very I don't want to say disappointed, but just kind of let down a little bit. I felt a movie that it wasn't a lot like it, but a movie that it reminded me of would be Suicide Squad, with the soundtrack and the music video, sort of music video-itis that it has. And I wouldn't say that it's necessarily, I can see somewhat, like I can see it being something like you mentioned we talked about Extraction before the podcast. Is something you kind of turn your mind off a little bit. You watch some fun action and whatnot. But I think that what brought me down with it is that while a movie like Extraction relies mostly on action and doesn't take itself seriously and put a plot forward that you have to follow, I felt that my issue with this was that it took itself a bit seriously, and just with the choices it made and the writing, I felt that I couldn't take it seriously. So I felt like I wasn't really catching what it was throwing, but I think, like to each their own. So for me, it just didn't really work out in terms of seriousness. But yeah, a little let down, but I think it's a movie that's definitely going to get a sequel. I think it's going to get a lot of attention, especially in the summer when we're all craving for a movie. And dude, you want to go on Netflix, you want to watch something fun with some action, just lay back and have a good time, man. Go right ahead. There you go.
Okay.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
I pretty much agree with everything you just did. Actually, I think,
all right. Well, that's the podcast, everyone. No.
I just think it didn't really like reach its full potential. I think it could have been a lot better than what it was. When I was watching, I felt like I was watching like Deadpool with like a tenth of the humor, because they were taking it like really seriously, like you mentioned. But it's literally like Deadpool stuff. Like there's so many jokes they could have made. They could have just like added in some weird humor there, but they didn't.
I think if it took itself a little less seriously, like Deadpool, that I would have caught on a little bit. So exactly. I think now let's put Christian on the spot here.
Well, no, it's all right. So for me, it's I did like the movie, but I did have issues with it. I was like super invested in like the lore as to what makes them, why do they have the ability.
Boy, does that get confusing.
Yeah, it does, because like they don't really give you a real answer.
The rules aren't laid out well at all. No one understands the exact rules.
And that's the part I was most interested in. And how, new recruits come into the mix.
Because it's like their immortality is mortal. Like they can just lose it at any point. What's the point?
Yeah,
it just feels convenient.
Right.
To lose it.
Yeah.
It's like, do they have to die a certain amount of times? Like, I'm not sure if you guys have ever watched Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
So
sorry,
it's with the homunculus,
right
they have a like, depending on how many lives they have quote unquote consumed, is, I guess you can say, essentially costs, burns out until eventually, they just don't have any power left. But it's like with this movie, it's like, okay, but like what makes them immortal? And like obviously Charlize Theron's character, like she was like
badass,
Greek mythos old kind, and it's like,
or was she say too old?
Yeah, she was like, too. I'm like, oh, tribal? Like, no, it's not tribal. It's like way back.
My girlfriend looks at me after the movie and she's like, how the fuck old is she? Actually. I never get to find out how old she is.
She's just Eve. That's what we find out. She's been Eve the whole time.
Yeah,
wouldn't be surprised.
I did want a sequel, but I wish they delve more into the mythos and the lore of.
I will say I did like the ending, how it kind of threw in that last curveball there to try to set up a sequel. I thought that was pretty.
It wasn't a bad. Yeah, it was. Even though I wasn't in love with it, I felt like, I will say, like the way that felt very natural, the way it was done, actually. I have to agree with you on that, yeah. Like I could see, and especially with, like we mentioned, like it's the middle of the summer, we all want a movie. I think it's kind of possible. I could see it.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys,
I think
but I think it could be a sequel.
It's the perfect Netflix movie, but I think if this came out in theaters, like I'm guessing it was originally intended, it wouldn't have fared as well, because it just feels like a Netflix movie.
Yeah, it feels like maybe 3 or 4 levels above Extraction. Because like if that would have come out,
I'm not going that far.
Oh, wow.
All right, so here's the Extraction comparison.
Throwing it down, Devin.
For Extraction, I will agree the Old Guard has a much better story, much better characters. Yes,
Old Guard has a story.
Yes, that's true. but the action in Old Guard is fairly average, and there's really not that many scenes that involve action.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's where Extraction like becomes so much more entertaining to me, because there's so much of it and it like never stops, and it's so well done. So I'll sacrifice story for better action in a Netflix movie, basically.
Okay. In the Netflix realm. All right. That makes sense. Yeah. So for everyone listening,
Extraction was a Netflix movie, wasn't it?
Yeah. With Chris Hemsworth and I
guess. So I think I enjoyed Extraction more, but I can see this Old Guard being a better movie overall.
Yeah, it's. I don't know.
It's your junk food. It's just your junk food. That's all.
Yeah. I mean, and I agree with everything you guys are saying. I'm just trying to figure out where I.
Exactly I mean Extraction. I'm not insulting anybody's. No, I mean, like Devin, you said you like Extraction. It's like
okay,
it's
junk
like
food. I
it's like
that.
junk food, right? Like I have shows like there are shows like like Regular Show, which isn't a bad show, or like it's Sunny in Philadelphia, where it's like it's not it's not cinema, but it's like it's just wild, and it's like I just turn my brain off and I laugh my ass off at it. And there's movies like with Netflix, there's always a movie that just it knows that it's just an action slop, but if it does that well, then who cares? Like I got what I came here for.
Yeah, or tall.
And that's all I care about.
No, tall girl.
Do you guys think? Oh no!
No, go ahead, Devin. You're good.
Do you guys think this is the launching of a Netflix cinematic universe?
The NCU.
NCU. That. We get Charlize Theron. We get Tyler Rake from Extraction.
This is such a random name.
His name is Tyler Rake. And then we can throw in Spencer from Spencer Confidential.
That movie was
throw him in there.
No,
I have not seen Spencer Confidential. I don't really plan on it.
We had like literally nothing else to do or nothing to watch. It was just
not enjoyable.
I don't really care for Mark Wahlberg, and unless he's in a big movie, I'm not gonna watch it. That's just me. No, he doesn't grab me. You know what I mean? Like it's not like I have to go see that. Plus, everyone's saying it's awful. So
you're not missing a damn thing.
I'll take your word on that.
At NCU though, I think it's a thing.
Absolutely.
For Netflix, I could see it happening because this like Old Guard did remind me of Extraction, and I don't know if it was because of the plot where it's just everyone's like, oh, like it's a white savior movie. I'm like, but I mean, obviously, and this is a spoiler review from here on out because there are things I want to talk about. I thought Charlie's character was gonna die. Like wholeheartedly, like she's gonna die.
That's where the rules are so confusing because like is she immortal again? Because she was bleeding before, but then at the end she
got popped, man. Again? She got popped right in the gut too.
Yeah. I don't really get it.
But it's like it's kind of like they're living with no regrets. Kind of like how in Palm Springs, I mean that was different because they literally could not die no matter how many times they're going through that. But with this, it's like Devin said, the rules are messy, and I'm very confused, especially with what was Charlie's character's name?
And Maki or some shit.
Yeah, the long version was definitely interesting.
Yeah,
I'm fine.
Am I allowed to curse to this explicit podcast?
Please do.
Okay, good. So I already ruined it for you already. I just have to make sure I can keep doing it, I guess. I will look that up for you. The Old Guard. This was based on a book too, wasn't it?
It's comic book series.
Yeah.
Oh. So do I have to rank it in my comic book movies all time now? I guess I have to.
Yeah,
technically.
I mean,
yeah.
Did you see Bloodshot, James?
No, I have not seen Bloodshot. That's Everyone told me not to watch that, so I think I'll probably just get drunk some night with my friends and pop Bloodshot on at some point. Probably the only way I'll be able to get through it.
One question I had was the one character, his name's like Booker, I think. He
Booker
betrays them at the end. I might have missed it, but why the hell did he do that?
I don't know why he betrayed them.
What was that?
I remember he said, oh well, maybe if they like test on us, then we can find a way to kill ourselves because that's what we want to do.
What a bitch boy. What the hell? Get out of here.
Oh yeah, no,
sorry,
that's so stupid.
I will say I don't know, like I didn't know this was a comic book series. I didn't know anything about this until I watched the movie. So I don't know if this was from the book, but I thought that was one thing that was kind of clever was that was why Copley got the information in the beginning. and then it makes sense
Yeah.
that he was doing that. Like, I was like, okay, that's a clever twist, but also what an asshole.
Yeah.
And then they gave him like 100 years of timeout at the end, so
Yeah.
that was pretty funny.
Yeah, that time. Yeah, we'll meet you back here in 100 years. It's like that's like 5 years for them. Like how does
Exactly.
time work for them? How does and what happened to Andy's main squeeze? I guess that was her lover.
That was another
Asian girl.
thing. They
It's
just
like-
put that plot point in there. They didn't
And
do
then-
anything with that.
Yeah, like she's like, oh yeah, they put her in like this cast iron like
Iron Maiden thing.
casket, and she's just at the bottom of the sea, like being revived and drowning over and over and over again. It's like, oh, she's still there. So,
Wait, was that not her at the end?
Yeah, no, that was her.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good.
I was just so confused as to like
She just got
what
out, I guess.
happened. Yeah, I don't know. It was some strange stuff. But
Yeah, it was weird. man.
also with Harry Melling, aka
Oh, that's
The
quite
Dud-
the villain.
Dudley
What a
from
punchable
Harry
face.
Potter.
What a
He's
punchable
lost
face.
a lot of weight. It looks good. He looks really good.
It felt like a video game villain. It was so over the top and weird.
He was just like I couldn't really even take him seriously as a
Not at
villain.
all.
Mhm.
He was
I
basically a
saw-
cartoon.
I saw Dudley and I was just like, "Fuck you, man." He
I
had
was
like
like,
no
yeah,
upper
that's
lip,
him.
but I'm just like, he was perfect as a villain because I wanted nothing but to punch his face. So
Fair
I was
enough.
I
perfectly
still want
fine
to
with
punch his
that.
face. I was like, hey mate, props for you for dropping all that weight when you were a kid, but
Oh yeah,
I mean
Yeah.
I haven't seen him in anything since. I mean, I'm sure he's had.
I assumed he didn't do anything after Harry Potter.
I feel like a lot of them didn't do anything after Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Harry
She's got-
Melling. What a name.
Harry Melling, yeah. It's a
He's in
movie
the
you
Ballad
should-
of Buster Scruggs.
Is he
That's
really?
why. Yeah.
I did not see that movie. Is it good?
I have not seen it either.
Apparently, it's really good. Ballad of Buster Scruggs. That's what people on YouTube tell me. So obviously, I know what I'm talking about.
Well, this one YouTuber said.
Yeah, man. Ralph the Ruby
Oh,
Maker. He
he's
told me,
also
man.
in His Dark Materials. Didn't you watch that, Christian?
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yes, he was. He was. That was actually pretty good. I mainly watched it
He was in Lost City of
for
Z
Daphne King.
too.
Was
and he's
he?
going to be in Macbeth in 2021.
Have you seen Lady Macbeth with Florence Pugh?
I've seen certain scenes that are on the internet.
It actually is a
research
really good
purposes.
movie. I bought it a while ago. I was like, all right, this is. I'm not sure if that was like her first movie, but
Yeah,
she did a pretty good job.
the Florence Pugh movie.
Yeah, the Florence Pugh.
Yeah, that's how I'm gonna watch
Florence
it.
Pugh movie.
I need to get through
Well-
her filmography, so that's definitely
Oh, dude,
see it
she.
eventually.
I think the first movie I saw her in was Fighting with My Family, because I mainly went to go see her for Lena Headey, not for The Rock. I don't like The Rock all that much.
Such a strange hatred to have.
It's just he's in everything. Like he's
I'm indifferent.
everywhere.
I'm indifferent.
It's like
man.
2 movies a year.
It seems like it's 10 for some reason, but I'll go see him during Black Adam, whatever.
Yeah.
The Rock's just like, it's gonna be tough for me to see him as Black Adam because it's like if they made John Cena Captain America because
Right.
he's
Yeah.
just everywhere.
He plays like those serious / funny action roles.
You know,
And like he was pretty good in Hobbs and Shaw, but I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
yeah. It's gonna be
but-
interesting, like seeing him as a whole superhero. It's probably gonna be a whole thing for years to come.
I
That's
don't know
gonna
how
be
it took this
interesting.
long. That's the weird part. How has he
yeah,
not been
I
a
am very
superhero yet?
surprised.
He's
I'm
the perfect
surprised he
build,
wasn't in
dude.
it.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
They
insane.
could have just
I
painted
like
him green
over
and made him the
Vin
Hulk, dude.
pretty much.
Diesel. Better. I mean, I like The Rock way better than Vin Diesel. I could give 2 craps about Vin Diesel. I just don't care.
Cheers.
He's a strange guy.
He really is. But hey, he was all like, hey, Fast and Furious, what's coming out? 8, 9, 10, 11? I
They're
don't
going
know.
to space, baby.
He was like, mark my words, this is for the fans. No coronavirus is going to stop us. I was like, okay,
I
pal.
don't know, man. I haven't watched the Fast and Furious yet, and then I hear they're going to space, and I'm like, I think it's too late for me to catch on. They really jumped the shark at this point.
Literally, dude, after like, what was it? Like the 3rd, 4th movie, they just went balls to the wall. Like, I don't even know if there's much of a story anymore. I really
yeah.
don't.
Well,
It's just,
yeah.
I mean, it's good action, just like the old guard or Extraction. But I guess
That's
according to
fair.
Devin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could see it as I'll watch it eventually, but man, I heard Go into
No
Space, and I'm
rush.
like,
No rush.
yeah, I'm like, I'm gonna
You don't
put
have to
back on that
watch
one a
all
little
of
bit.
them.
That's a Sharknado move, going to space. That's what they did in Sharknado.
Yeah.
I had a
All I
feeling
know about
they were gonna
Sharknado
do
at this
that.
point is that I was flipping through channels 4 years ago, and I just looked at one of them, and I was like, "Hey, that's Charles Tillman. That's Charles Tillman. Hey,
Yeah.
I watched this
know that
football
guy.
team."
I know that guy.
Yeah.
Oh man. What did so were I don't know if there were any like real Easter eggs or references that you guys wanted to touch on for the old guard. I couldn't really find any. I normally put this in here for the talking point just because normally there is like a really cool Easter egg reference that you can kind of point out. But I only watched this
got
movie
nothing.
once. I got nothing.
Play dead, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was actually kind of cool for like a hot second. Well, the first time that they did it. The second time, I'm like, it doesn't have the same effect.
When she called it, when she said it, and she called back to it, I was like, "Oh my god! Like we know, we know. You don't have to tell me."
But
And why didn't she just shoot the guy?
I don't know. But like,
That's all
so,
she had to do was just shoot him in the head.
but like Niall, the black girl, she was, or I think her real name is Kiki. But yeah,
Kiki Lane, yeah.
Yeah, Kiki Lane. So she was in the Marines, and she kind of just goes AWOL, like nobody looks for her.
I think they explained at some point where she was like, "You're not in the Marines anymore," or something like that.
I mean, yeah, but that
send her
doesn't mean that they're
home.
not gonna not look for her. Like,
No, it was her. She's like, "You're not a Marine anymore. You're one of us." And she's like,
Yeah.
"I don't want to do it."
It's
She's like,
I don't
"Oh
think
well,
that's how this works.
okay." Yeah.
I do think that was one of the more interesting parts of the movie is her trying to figure everything out because she's kind of like our perspective on the whole thing.
Yeah, when
I think she.
No, go
I
ahead.
like
Somebody,
that.
you're good.
Yeah. I also
Devin,
think
go ahead, yeah.
she kind of was struggling to keep up with Charlize Theron because, I mean, how could you not? I'm guessing this is
Yeah.
one of her first movies.
Yeah, that is
Kiki
true.
Lane.
She was in.
She was in Beale Street.
Yeah, that's right. She
Beale
was in
Street,
Beale Street. That was a good movie. Oh,
That's
yeah,
another I
I
have to
thought I
watch.
saw her from somewhere else. And Native Son, I've never heard of Native Son, so I guess this is technically like her, well, not her third movie.
Pretty much.
I guess like her third like big movie. Yeah.
Oh, Captive
Yeah.
State, whatever that was.
I was a little disappointed with her. I'm not gonna lie, Kiki Lane.
Yeah, I agree. Like I mentioned, she didn't really keep up with Charlize.
I think it's
No.
tough because she was. I didn't mind her at first, but then you throw her on screen with Charlize Theron the entire movie, and how are you not going to be outclassed there?
Yeah.
It's not even
Yeah.
fair. Yeah, no.
I mean,
But,
she pretty much covers the entire. Well, Charlize, she pretty much carries the entire movie. But I was
Yeah.
kind of interested in the other. I guess I'm just gonna call them the Immortals because it's just like
Basically.
it's literally
It's-
what they are.
It's literally just my what should I say? It's my pregame for Marvel's Eternals. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, might as well.
I read the plot of it, and I'm just like, well, I'll get my one next year, but this'll hold me over, I guess. Whatever.
I'm hoping that theaters come back soon, but at the same time, it's like if they're open soon, I don't really know if I'm gonna go back like that soon.
Yeah, when they're telling you don't have to, like, masks aren't mandatory. That was a
Yeah,
red
I'm like,
flag.
I need masks. You guys need to be wearing some gloves. I need at least like 3 to 4
Chair difference.
Chairs. Yeah, I'm honestly because it's. I mean, what else can you do? But I mean, China. We had talked about it on our news show. China had opened their theaters back up, and it kind of just plummeted back down.
Yeah.
I mean, well, excuse me, the spike went up. Shocker, because.
Yeah, real surprise here. Yeah,
But
yeah. No.
so I wanted to ask you guys, between recent releases that you guys have seen, how does the old guard compare to those releases?
I already kind of did that with Extraction. So
Yeah.
you guys.
Well, I guess James, what recent movies have you been watching that I guess you could?
You know,
if you wanted to.
I had a really busy month, and I wasn't watching anything. And I just saw Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which really is like not fair to compare anything lately to that because that
you're
movie is
fine.
amazing. Yeah, but I did watch Palm Springs, and surprisingly, you know what? You hit on it. There's
There are similarities.
There's a similarity of that, yeah, forever ongoing. Completely different in every other way, in every like theme, just everything, yeah. But I definitely preferred Palm Springs a lot more. I think that Palm Springs, it's a movie that I liked it a lot. I think that I'm gonna like it more on rewatch, and then yeah, I mean, I feel bad because I'm really just going one's good, one's bad, but that's just what it's been for me.
And that's totally fine. You know, I normally kind of just throw that question in there just to, you know, I mean, we've been, besides Palm Springs, what did we review, Devin? I can't even remember anymore. It's only
Extraction's a really good comparison, but that's, it's a bit older though.
Crap, what else did we review? Okay, so I watched Hereditary.
Ooh. Oh, great movie.
Finally,
great movie.
Time.
That car ride, eh?
Oh my God.
How'd you feel about that?
I actually laughed.
That's the most shocked I've ever been in a movie. Like
I was shocked, but like when her head
can we do spoilers for Hereditary here?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, because
it's been how many years?
Love that movie. I just saw that movie this year and it blew me away. And I liked Midsommar, and then I watched Hereditary a couple months later and just loved it. It's fantastic.
Ari Aster, he's the future.
It was some creepy stuff, but
he and Robert Eggers, man, those guys have like horror in the palm of their hand. And then Jordan Peele when it comes to like more blockbuster settings.
This horror renaissance we're in is pretty amazing.
Really digging it, man.
Yeah, it's a renaissance, guy.
See, and like I'm not the biggest horror fan, James. I'm not, but for whatever reason, I love Midsommar. I watched Us. It was pretty good. I liked it. I knew the twist going in though, but like it still freaked me out because I was just like, this is weird. Dr. Sleep was like my first, I guess, awakening. I actually like Dr. Sleep a lot. So
I need to see that.
It was slept on.
It was slept on.
It really was. That's what I hear.
People did that movie dirty. It was terrible. Absolutely hated it.
That's a lot of people tell me that it's you don't listen to what people say about it. It's really good, and my boy Ewan's in there, so I really have to get to watching that one. Love that guy.
I liked him better in Dr. Sleep than Birds of Prey.
Really?
I think so. I don't know why. I mean, I liked Birds of Prey. I thought it was a fine movie. It was very middle of the road for me, but
it was good fun.
Yeah, it really was.
Popcorn flick with a lot of heart in it. Yeah, it's no masterpiece. Yeah,
it had some Tarantino action in there as well. That's why I kind of.
It really did feel Tarantino inspired, didn't it? Like the whole nonlinear plot and the action.
That egg sandwich though looked delicious.
Oh yeah.
Like, making me hungry.
I saw something on Twitter today. This is the most meaningless fact I'll ever have, but I have a reason to mention it. Was that they had to switch out her sandwich with duck egg because she's allergic to eggs in general. So
I think she mentioned
incredible fact.
She mentioned it on the Hot Ones interview.
Oh, the Hot Ones interview. Oh yeah,
that must have been it. Yeah,
Devin loves watching those videos.
Oh yeah,
they're still doing them, aren't they?
Yeah, they're doing the quarantine version.
Oh man, I mean, I've seen a few like Shia LaBeouf, Maisie Williams, but I've been falling out of it.
Paul Rudd one is iconic.
Oh yeah,
look at us.
Who could have thought?
Not me. They use that for like literally everything now, and I absolutely love it.
Dude,
but so to get back on track here, which is totally fine. So would you guys watch The Old Guard again? And I guess I'll start with James.
Man, okay, this is a weird one because on our page, me and Alex, we do on Instagram at Cinema District, go follow. We do reviews. It's really reviews. Like we have a little thing we call Quick Thoughts. We just put like a paragraph or two on what we thought about the movie.
I saw the Harry Potter ones.
Yeah, you peeped it. Hell yeah! But I'm thinking about doing like little small tweaks, rewrites, and I feel like with Old Guard, it was something where I felt like there were little things. I felt like I wouldn't have to rewrite the entire movie if I took little things, I tweaked like little lines or scenes and just changed them up a little bit. The writing with it, I feel like it would work. It would at least work a bit better, and I feel like I might watch that just to kind of see what I would do with it. Just kind of study the movie. I feel like the thing I have to give this movie credit for is it doesn't feel like it was done. It doesn't feel like it was just thrown out there. It feels like somebody I mean, well, I have my feelings about the soundtrack, but it feels like the movie was made with a bit of heart, and I feel like when that happens, you get things that there's something tangible there, you know. Like I feel like there's something that if I tweaked it a little bit, I feel like it would work a lot better. So maybe I'd rewatch it for that reason, but or to I don't know, have a good laugh with friends. That's where I'm at with it right now, unfortunately. Yeah.
Devin?
That's a no for me, dog.
Right off the bat, it's like, no,
Full Randy
there's
Jackson.
no way.
Yeah.
he won't watch it again.
Just not worth it.
Yeah, because normally we would say, you know, like for when we did our Palm Springs review, we had a few of our friends from Music City Drive-In on there on our podcast, and it was like we all agreed, you know, we would definitely watch it again. One of my buddies, Jacob, he's watched it 4 times already, so it's like he loves that movie, and I can see why he loves it a lot. But I think for me, for that movie, I would watch it with friends. And the fact that I was planning on watching The Old Guard again, but I started watching Cursed instead, kind of tells me that no, I'm not going to watch this again unless someone else hasn't seen it. Like my friend I was hanging out with yesterday, she hadn't seen Midsommar, and I hadn't seen Hereditary, so we just got together. We watched both of them. So
that's quite the back-to-back.
That's a hell of a duo right there.
5 hours.
It was, and I got the director's cut of Midsommar coming in the mail, so I'm going to watch it again when that comes out, because I've never seen it. It's like an extra 30 minutes of the movie.
Is that released online yet? Is that
It's on A24's website.
Oh, okay.
But it's weird, because like they have the standard Blu-ray and the 4K edition for the same price. I think it's like $45, something like that, which is weird. I was like, there's no difference in price here. Like at all.
I would not be opposed to getting that. Not at all.
So I was very excited. And we got the Parasite Criterion Collection coming out. That's gonna be nice.
Wow, I need to get on that.
Yes. Definitely it doesn't come out till like October or November, so you got some time to pre-order that one.
Oh, I'm pre-ordering that as soon as I can. Hell yeah.
Criterion website, was it? But so so I guess we pretty much covered everything old guard, not old dog. And we kind of already answered the question if we think a sequel's in the works. But then again, we all know from time and time again, especially with X-Men Origins Wolverine, they had that like weird that weird post scene. They're like, oh, there's gonna be a sequel. Never a sequel. Rightfully so. I mean, I enjoyed it for what it is. It probably is one of my guilty pleasure movies, but I've never
full disapproval.
Don't do that.
That's
too guilty.
3. I mean, Spider-Man 3 is. I can't say Dark Phoenix is. I really don't. Like, if it wasn't for Sophie Turner, I would not be watching that movie. Or James
I thought the train scene was like
the
that was the star I gave that movie.
They like, and then they add that after they like shut everything else.
Yeah, because it was supposed to. They were supposed to have the scrolls in Dark Phoenix, but they had to change it because of Captain Marvel.
They were going to be back out in space at the end.
Yeah, it would not have been as good as the train. I can guarantee that.
Yeah.
You see little dots flying around the screen.
Yeah, let's have somebody else. Yeah, shoot more lasers in a superhero movie. That's so exciting and original.
Right. The beam in the sky in the middle of the city.
So original. Yeah. I don't know. I just love seeing Michael Fassbender. And that train scene was dope. So I was like half star. That's all I can do. That.
I'm here for Michael Fassbender. That's literally it.
And that James McAvoy scene, was it him walking up this? Like that was.
Yeah. Stop making me walk.
That was incredible.
I mean, it's. I love Sophie Turner. I love her to death, but I don't think her American accent's like okay. Like it's gotten a little bit better, especially after watching the train wreck that was Quibi. She was on that Survive.
Boy.
Like her character was good, but like that's the only thing I cared about. I've never subscribed.
You've watched Quibi?
Yeah, so we
reviewed it.
We did review it.
Oh.
We reviewed it. It was like a 90-day free trial. So we were on there. watching some, some shows, trying to get a feel for it, because
Yeah.
it was literally a brand new streaming service. It wasn't like HBO Max. You kind of know what to expect from that, or Disney Plus. You know
Right.
what to expect from it. So it's like, let's do it.
It's bad. It's real bad.
That's what I hear. Can you only watch it on your phone?
Yep.
Yes.
Why would I do that? Why would I do that?
No one knows. It's the future.
Isn't it you can only watch it in portrait mode, right?
You can switch that.
You can switch it back. And
Okay.
forth. Yeah, but I watched it on landscape. We watched a few
Right.
Punked episodes.
Oh, the Punked was so bad.
There was like 2 good episodes. And that was it. The one with Sabrina Carpenter was really good, with like the rat infestation, because Sabrina's like reaction was so like authentic. And then the one, I can't remember what the other.
Then
one
there were
was.
8 car episodes.
That was like, I was like, is this
That's all it
like
was.
secretly Pimp My Ride, just like in the form of Punked? Because that's what it felt like.
Isn't
It
there
was
like
bad. It's bad.
there's a thing like with Liam Hemsworth and Christoph Waltz, and it's like
That was
Isn't
the
it-
only one I semi-enjoyed. But I
don't you
already
like
forgot what it was called.
something game, the
World's
something
Dangerous Game or something.
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
World Series. Yeah. I watched like the first 2 episodes. I'm like, all right, this is stupid. I'm not.
And don't they
I can't do
release-
this anymore?
They released them in like was it like quick bites, and it's like 7 to 10
Yeah.
minutes or something. It's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
it's like big stories, quick bites. So it's essentially like, let's say if you're watching like Lord of the Rings, and they just like, but it's shot in the way where every 10 minutes like something happens.
but
and
that
then you kinda
ruins, in my opinion, that's just
Well, for like the longer TV shows, obviously for like Christmas
Yeah.
Core and all that stuff, those are like actual bite-sized episodes. Like it's
Yeah.
a cool concept, but then they blamed everything on the pandemic. I'm like, your
no.
streaming service is on your phone. It's on your phone. Everyone has their phone on them at all times.
Yeah.
How did the pandemic affect this? Unless there's something in the background we don't know about. Obviously, with uploading shows, getting shows onto the platform.
It
But
just might not be good, maybe.
Yeah,
probably
pretty much it.
it was pretty bad. But
Yeah.
I don't want this to be super, super long, but that's all right. Actually, I don't even know how long we've been going for, so it's whatever. I was surprised because last week we did our Palm Springs review. There was like 4 of us. We did it in about like 35, 40 minutes. I was like, wow.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Normally it's around 30 minutes for like just me and Devin, because, I mean, it's only us two and we only got so much to say. So, but I
I'm the
wanted to
mediator
ask.
for the marriage, don't worry. I'm here to help.
That's a good one. So, wanted to ask you guys. So we normally do scores out of 100, like they do in the Lights Camera Bar Stool podcast. So, James, what would you give the Old Guard out of 100?
Okay, so this is something I do. I'm gonna put my little twist on it because I do this with the way I score things. So I'll do like a personal score and a technical score, right? So technically, my letterbox review or score is always my technical score, and I give it a 1.5, so it'd be like a 30. I mean, I wouldn't say I want to put any lower or higher. Like it's 30, that's fine. I don't feel the need to give you 3 more points because Charlize Theron is beautiful.
I didn't know you guys were gonna go that low.
But personally, I would give it, I'd say around the same, maybe like a 25. Like I just didn't find much enjoyment in it. Like there's stuff to be found. Like Trilogy 4 was, I thought, great, underused but great. I thought Charlize Theron, we can all agree, carried a lot of it on her back. And I think it's shot all right, so that's where I give it points. But my personal enjoyment would be somewhere around like 20 to 25, somewhere in that range.
Oh my life.
Yeah, it's
I mean, that's
pretty
the
low.
lowest we've had.
It's just not my cup of tea.
No,
man.
you're
Yeah,
It's not
totally
my
it's
cup of
fine.
fair.
tea.
That is all. That is totally fair. I'm trying to think. When was the last time Devin and I scored something that low? And I don't know.
Charlize just didn't
Yeah.
deserve that, man. She didn't deserve that.
She did a good job. I mean, I'm sure she had fun. She got paid, so
That budget was 70 million, and I know that 70 million was not going to the movie.
no.
Yeah.
She and Trudel, man. Trudel, they need to get paid, man.
Oh, for sure. Devin, what about you? Out of 100?
No, I don't think it's that terrible, but I just think it's okay. I'm gonna go with like a 55.
James gave me a heart attack. I'm not gonna lie. As soon as he said 25, I was like, "Whoa, oh!" I mean, that's totally fine because I don't even know what I would give this. But sorry, go ahead, Devin.
Yeah, I just thought it was okay. It had some decent moments. I actually like the setup overall. Like it's kind of an interesting story if they did it better. But yeah. I also wanted to mention the IMDb plot keywords for this movie are immortality, based on comic, immortal, shared dream, and gay kiss.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Those are the top
that.
plot keywords. It's a great way to describe this movie.
I totally forgot about that. So, for my score out of 100, I think I'm just gonna go with a 40. 40 out of 100.
All right, now I went too high. Damn it!
Come on, Devin.
You liked it more than me. You liked it more than me, Christian, didn't you?
Well, it's just, I mean, okay, I know a lot of people have an issue with the soundtrack. I actually like the soundtrack. Like,
I didn't even notice it, to be honest. Didn't notice it at all.
That's so
like, oh
weird.
my God, this soundtrack is
That's
terrible.
literally what my friend Alex told me. Okay, because he said somebody on Lights Camera Barstool said that the soundtrack was the one thing that could have ruined it for him. And before I saw it, right? And then he's like, I just couldn't, just maybe it's a personal preference thing. And I halfway through the movie, I'm like, I think it might be a personal preference thing because I'm not feeling this. He's like, I didn't notice it. Like, I think if you don't like it, it's going to hit you, Yeah. And if you don't mind it, it just doesn't do anything.
Yeah, I didn't mind it at all. I was like, okay, I was getting pumped. Like, I was listening to some good music, watching the movie at the same time.
I think we need to switch scores, Christian, because you liked it more than me. I'll take your 40.
I'm sticking with the 40 only
55.
because I really wanted the lore to be there, and like it kind of
could have been there. That's the thing.
I was so
it could have
interested
been.
in that part. I was like, tell me more about these immortals. Tell me more about why they can't die. Like, we don't have to know like everything, like the whole world building. But
let me throw something in there. Not to interrupt, but to your point, I was talking with my brother and my girlfriend the whole time, and I kept saying, when do they become immortal? Is it when they first die? Like, what if Charlie's was a baby and and she got killed in a hospital, and then she's just a baby forever?
Baby for life.
Yeah. And they're just like, why is this baby still here? Yeah. I don't know. Like, they didn't say, like, I feel like if you're going to have this world and this whole thing happen, you got to give me rules. It's like you said, like
the rules. It's the biggest thing.
Like they're just stop dying all of a sudden, and then she's not dying, and then she's not dying again. And why does she look 50? Would she look 20? Would she look? I don't know. All the haircut, I was like that. I think that's where my 20 came from, was Charlize Theron's haircut. So that was my personal enjoyment.
No, you're fine. It's an interesting movie. It's just like, with that lore, it's just, I'm like, how did
frequently asked questions for this movie? How come her earrings don't pop out like the bullets do? That's pretty good.
That's a good one. That definitely is a good one. Well, yeah, I mean, the soundtrack,
that's the biggest question.
She had earrings holes before she became immortal. I don't know if they had earrings back in the Crusades.
Yeah, she was like Greek mythos old.
And Christian, you were saying something about the soundtrack there.
Oh yeah, so I like the soundtrack. I was kind of confused when people were like, "Oh, the soundtrack's horrible." I was like, I thought it was pretty good. It just didn't bug me at all. But I feel like the same people feel the same way with Dickinson on Apple TV Plus. It's a very good story. But it's more, it's a period piece, but they have their soundtrack is more modern. Like, they threw a little bit of Billie Eilish in there, and I was like, it's odd, but like it fits so well, and it's like, it's just two things that you never thought that would mix together well. Like, some people like I don't know, mashed potatoes and applesauce mixed.
It really is a personal preference thing, though. Yeah, it really is. Like, I score that technically because I personally think that it technically doesn't, like, it's on a technical scale, it doesn't carry a certain theme or whatever from one scene to the next, or in that scene, but it's such a weird thing. Yeah, like talking to you guys about it, it like kind of hits me. Like it just comes down to preference with those things. Like, potato, potato. Honestly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, was there anything else you guys wanted to touch on before we wrap up here?
Should have had Pitbull's cover of Africa in it. If they're gonna go all the way, go all the way, man.
Yeah.
Like an Aquaman. Oh my god.
Don't even get us started.
Don't get us started. I'm telling you, we saw that movie. We got early screenings to it, and literally like halfway through, Devin's like, "This." He texted me. He's like, "This is so boring," because we live in different states. And I was like, "Dude, I'm right there with you. I just."
Oh, you were like different states watching at the same time.
Yeah.
I forgot Devin, my fellow Chicagoan.
Yeah, he's.
Oh, are you? Oh.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Well, they're in Nashville. It's cool. It's whatever. It's
North
fine.
versus South.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Just like the world right now.
I can't
so
even
we
call
shouldn't
like
get into
Tennessee that much like the South. Like, I mean, it's the South, but like if you want like the South, you
Go to
gotta
Texas.
Go, like, Texas, Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia.
Yeehaw.
Yeah, Louisiana, like that's
Mm-hmm.
that's where all the
God, we should have an episode on Aquaman sometime because there's just so much to talk about in that movie, man.
Technically, I still have to watch it again because I lost a bet with Devin. I forgot what the bet
That's true. It
was.
was like Oscars predictions or something.
Yeah, it was
Well,
either
do you have it up
Oscars
for Best
or Golden
Picture?
Globes. Huh?
Do you have it up for Best Picture that year?
No, it was we were guessing of the people who were nominated or the films that were nominated who was going to take home the gold, and I lost horribly, and I saw to watch it. I won a free digital copy, so it's like I could watch it. It's just, man, that movie was so bad. It's
a lot of people like it too.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like The Old Guard, where a lot of people really like that movie, and a lot of people like it's either you love it or you hate it, and that's where I feel like The Old Guard is.
Figure out why people love Aquaman so much. I'm like, what is so appealing about this?
I tried watching it lately, and I was gonna write a review on it, and I still might because there's just so much to unpack there. But it's just I don't get it. I really don't get it. But some people love that movie.
I'm really glad we're on the same page here.
Yes, yeah. But hey, makes somebody else happy. Good on them,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I wish I could understand. I want to.
I'm the same way with BVS. Like I am. Like
I that is so weird because I was just thinking of that one after I said that. I didn't want to bring it up because it's such a controversial topic.
It is
really
quite
is.
controversial.
Yeah. I think it's given more hate than it deserves, for sure. Like I have it on Blu-ray. I got it for like $4 on my disc replay because I'm like, I love Snyder's direction and I love like picking apart that movie, kind of like I was talking about with Old Guard, but it's just there's so much there. There's so much there with that movie, and some people love it and some people hate it. And I think again it's just personal preference because he has his style and you either love that style or you hate it.
Martha was the breaking point for me. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
I saw that movie when I wasn't.
Movie.
I saw it before I got into movies. Like the movie, like I guess fun fact about me, the movie that really got me to launch off into, like The Dark Knight was the movie as a kid that I wrote something about it last night about the Dark Knight, or on Instagram about the Dark Knight, and how my dad used to talk about it and analyze it and blah blah blah, and so that kind of like got me into the analysis of film. And then it wasn't until like I played hockey for a while and I didn't really care about that stuff, and then in 2016. I saw Civil War in theaters, and that just like blew my mind. And of course, like nowadays it's like another blockbuster, but back then it blew my mind, and it kind of ruled me into movies. It was like my that was like my gateway into it. But I saw Batman v Superman a few months before that, and just the difference in how like I saw it with a couple of friends, and I'm just watching it. I'm like, okay, so now Superman's fighting this guy. He's now fighting big mud monster, and he's dead now. Like it was just. Everything just happened in that movie.
Yeah, like he literally put like the death of Superman. He put the Dark Knight Returns. He put a lot into that, and I was like, I'd rather just watch the Dark Knight Returns because that's pretty much what this movie is.
I love that movie to death. The animated version.
It is so good. Devin hasn't seen it yet, but it's on Voodoo.
Devin, you're in for a treat, man.
You should watch
Might
it.
have to.
It is very good.
Devin, I will email you. I will mail you my copy. Just to make sure you get your eyes blessed.
Just to make sure.
Just to make sure.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah, it's. I think for us, I guess really quick. For when we first started movie reviews, we were originally a video game podcast, or no, we were originally a video game YouTube channel, and
then we found out that it's hard to find interesting new content in video games.
Yeah, like we had our podcasts or discussions about it, but there was a few of us and our other friends, and it's very hard to get people to be committed to something, and after a while, it was like it kind of just like fell apart, and me and Devin were like, let's have like a little movie review section, and our first movie review ever was Teen Titans Goes.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
That's a
Teen
way
Titans
to start
Go
off.
to the Movies.
Yeah,
That was our first movie review.
Starting off with a bang.
Yeah, but originally we didn't launch the actual podcast until I think 2 years ago, because there's a lot of movie reviews we did that you'll find on YouTube that aren't on our actual podcast. I think our first podcast episode was top 5 movies that we're looking forward to, and was 2017? No. 2018.
Yeah. Because you did Teen Titans Go to the Movies, probably 2018,
Yeah.
Something
so
like
it was because I was like, oh, let's start putting our stuff, on a podcast. But I never uploaded that audio version. So if anyone wants to check it out, it's on YouTube. It's just not on our actual podcast. You won't find it there, but maybe I'll upload.
I'm curious. Where did you guys? And maybe you already answered this in general. Where did you guys meet exactly? With when you being in Tennessee,
we went to the same high school.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
in Ohio.
Yeah.
We went to the same high school.
OHIO.
Thank God you got Ohio, am I right?
Christian hates it, but I always have a spot in my heart for the old.
That is true. Devin likes it a lot more than I do.
I know nothing about Ohio. I'm just running a joke that other people do. So,
yeah.
Ohioans, please don't attack me. I'm sure you're great.
There's a lot of Ohioans down here in Music City. A lot. Like half of my friends are from Cincinnati down here.
I'm a hockey guy, so I really need to check out a National Predators game sometime.
I've never been to a Preds game yet. I haven't been to.
You guys have a rowdy fan base down there.
They do.
Yeah.
I will admit, yes. Pittsburgh's pretty crazy too when it comes to hockey as well.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Stuff. Yeah. So if anyone wants to watch that Teen Titans, go to the movie. It got around like 300 views. It's just a still image of me and Devin talking. Like it wasn't anything like.
I think I gave it like a 4.2069 score.
Yeah, I love
how childish it was. I just had to.
It was so childish. I loved it so much.
Yeah, I heard it wasn't too bad.
Huh?
I heard it wasn't that bad.
It really wasn't. Like, I mean, Nicolas Cage finally got to play Superman.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that. Wasn't Little Yachty like the Green Lantern or something like that?
Yeah.
And there's a Stan Lee cameo too.
Yeah, Stan Lee's in it as well. Yeah. It was a movie that had a lot of fun. I was like, I have it on Blu-ray. It's sitting out there, so I haven't watched it since, but eventually I will.
Different movies, but Lego Batman. I just watched Lego Batman last week, and it's just like
for the first time.
Definitely not the first time. I watched that back in 2017 in theaters, and I loved it. But I rewatched it last week, and it's just a movie where it's like Teen Titans Go. It's just very different, yes, but like it just knows it's a silly movie. Don't know how much of a message Teen Titans Go has behind it compared to Lego Batman, but just like a movie that knows it's fluff.
Yeah,
it's cool with that.
That's what Old Guard should have done a little bit more of.
Yeah, that's what Old Guard should have been.
God,
should have just
lean into it.
We're beating a dead horse that is coming back to life and dying again and coming back to life and dying again.
Good. Yeah, it's whatever. But so I believe I guess that does conclude our review of The Old Guard that is on Netflix. Thank you everyone who listened to this podcast. You can listen to us again on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, all the 9 yards, Pandora, iHeart Radio, literally every major podcast platform out there besides SiriusXM. We'll get there one day. One day we will. We're on Pandora. Like people listen. Like I was looking at our stats. People like it used to be Apple Podcasts was number 1. Apple Podcasts is now number 2. Pandora is number 1.
How?
I don't know. I didn't even know you can listen to podcasts on Pandora. But I wanted
me
to
either.
it's some weird stuff. I just looked it up. I was like, oh yeah, podcast Pandora. I was like, let me see if I can submit our podcast into them and, see if we can be on there. They were like, yeah. We're like, oh, sure. It was so simple. It just took like maybe 2 weeks for them to respond. But I wanted to go around the podcast really quick and give a chance for James to, tell everyone where you can find you on social media. Online.
Oh, yes, my shameless plug.
Yeah. No, you're fine. Go ahead, man.
But yeah, you can find me, my incredible name that I sometimes regret, Tarantino Socks, on Twitter. You can find my buddy. I'm gonna pull up his name here just to give him a shout out because we run a page on Instagram, Cinema District, just how it sounds, nothing crazy there. We run it there on Instagram. We will have a podcast up eventually. That's a bit up in the air, but we'll have that out soon enough. You can follow me, Tarantino Socks, on Twitter. You can follow my buddy Alex. Oh my goodness, yes. At C District Alex on Twitter. And you can follow we have a Twitter page for our Instagram page on Twitter at C District Pod. We're working on getting that one up a little bit more. But yeah, that's where you can find us. I'm sure that wasn't confusing whatsoever, but yes, that's where you can find us.
It is very difficult to run Twitter and Instagram simultaneously.
Oh, tell me about
especially with
it.
having your own,
Oof.
especially with having your own personal account, because it's like, okay, like, I don't know, it's very difficult to just maintain a presence on
Yeah, you used to get in heated debates on our podcast account. I was like, bro, you can't do this. You can't alienate.
I
certain people.
did. We used to be called Broke Boy Gaming, was like our original title. Then we changed it to Broke Boy Media because we started doing more movie stuff. And then we just changed it to Film Optics when we we changed it to Film Optics about a year ago. And so I have it like broken up into seasons on our podcast. So season 1 and 2, we were Broke Boy Media, and then I think when we did our Parasite review is when I made the announcement. So no more name changes. No more name changes because no one's gonna know who the fuck we are. We keep doing name changes. So it's like if we start another podcast, obviously different name, but I think we're stuck with this one.
It works for me. Hopefully it works for you.
Yeah. So, again, thank you so much for coming on, James. We'll definitely have to have Alex on as well.
Absolutely.
For more future endeavors.
I don't know how we squeezed almost an hour out of the old guard, but here we are.
I know.
It's impressive, honestly.
Wow. Look at us.
I thought it was going to be 25, 30 minutes, be done. It's like, nope, we're going to go for like a whole hour, apparently. Do we know does anyone know what's coming up next?
Was it a surprise? But a welcome one to be sure.
I have no clue what we're reviewing next week, though.
I got nothing.
Because what's his face on The Boys doesn't come out till September.
That's gonna be good.
What was it? Umbrella Academy season 2. That's not for another 2 weeks though.
Oh,
that's not this.
I thought that just came out.
Did it?
Did it? I know they have it, like they're advertising it, but I don't know if they have it out.
Yeah, I don't think it's out just yet. It might be this coming up week. If it is, I'm gonna be psyched. If not, I'll just watch Marriage Story because that comes out this week.
I need to rewatch that, man.
It comes with the notes for
That's
Charlie
so
and
cute.
Nicole. It's the Criterion Collection. It's fantastic. Absolutely.
Season? Oh yeah, it comes out on July 31st. You're right.
31st. Okay, that's right.
You are right.
And also really quick before I forget, everyone, you can obviously follow us at Film Optics on Twitter and Instagram. Optics is spelled with an X. So yeah, you can follow us over there. Of course, leave us a rating on YouTube or actually preferably on iTunes.
Not sure you can leave your rating on YouTube, but
people leave their comments.
Likes.
So I guess it's the same.
Yeah, they'll let you know. They'll let you know.
For sure. But that was Devin and James. My name is Christian, and we will see you guys in the next one.
Peace.
Oh.